Okay, so this is the third video in my series, How to Be a Motorcycle Mechanic. This video, I'm going to talk about volunteering as a route into a motorcycle shop or a dealership. After completing my motorcycle mechanic schooling and taking a job as a mechanic at a larger OEM shop, I worked there for about a year. Now later in my 20s, with the news of a baby on the way, I returned to factory work as a means to increase my wage. I was reluctant to fully leave the trade, so I volunteered at a small independent shop that focused primarily on Harleys and vintage English motorcycles, which was my dream at the time. I learned and did a ton of stuff that I probably wouldn't have done at the dealership. I did a lot of work, motor building of Harleys, and as a note, when I entered the trade, I chose to work at a multi-line Japanese OEM so that I could learn more about motorcycles, as it seemed Harleys were a lot the same at the time. So I did enjoy Harleys. It was kind of my first love, but I chose to go into the multi-line Japanese motorcycles just to expand my knowledge. So when I was able to volunteer and go into a Harley shop and learn motor building, yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a big thing for me at the time. So I was getting paid working at the factory. I was doing 12-hour shifts a week, and that afforded me the option to work as a volunteer. I was getting a discount on parts. I was learning the skills I needed. In addition to the mechanics, I was also learning the business side of parts sales and some business experience as well, which was really great. I took every opportunity that I had to learn anything as I could apply it to the business of motorcycles. By this time, just being a motorcycle mechanic was no longer enough. I did want to own my own shop. I did later own my own motorcycle shop, and I will do a little talk on that, a little video about that. So I did this for a few years, and when my full-time factory job slowed down, they laid me off. I finished my hours to get my license as a motorcycle mechanic and moved on to the dealership again when the smaller shop had also slowed down. So this was a little bit of a time of change. So I did do the volunteer route. I found it quite beneficial. So there was a time too that I did own my own shop, and during this time that I owned my own shop and through the local high school, I had a student who came in as a co-op unpaid worker, which is like a volunteer, a co-op, which is something you can do at a young age, maybe through your own high school. I'm not sure, but that's how it worked in our area. So I took on a co-op student in my own shop. Now during the day, the student got out of school to do the job placement for gaining experience, work-related experience. And this turned out to be a bit tricky as the student knew absolutely nothing about being a mechanic, and I needed a more experienced worker, and I couldn't afford the time needed to develop his skills. So it didn't really work out for me as an employer. Even though I wasn't paying, I was a one-man shop, and it distracted from my abilities to work. So I felt a little bad in the end because I wasn't there to be able to develop this person as I would like to have seen fit and have done so since working in other shops where there is younger apprentices that I can mentor. It works out really nice that way. So that was another way you could go through the volunteer or co-op student placement and gain the experience. So so now as a senior mechanic in the trade, I have met a lot of younger up-and-comers starting into the trade, and a few of them really stand out. Each standout has had the passion for motorcycles, not cars or something else, just motorcycles. I see it when I meet them. They're usually looking right past me at the motorcycles. So, while developing your own skills, develop a good shop sense while helping try and visualize what the mechanic may need next. Think what they may need, what they might ask for, say tools, parts, some rags, or just be cleaning parts for them. This is a great benefit. You'll develop some skills. You'll learn, again, like I call it, that shop sense, where you're not in the way, you are helping. So in time, you will develop your own rhythm. With those couple of examples, you can see the plus side of volunteering, possibly the trickier side of volunteering. It really depends on the situation. Again, make the most out of it that you can. Every experience can be used as a learning experience. I just gathered as much information as I possibly could from as many sources because I wanted to own my own shop and ultimately did. And there's always something to learn. So again, motorcycles have been a passion for me since a very early age, and I turned that passion into a rewarding career at different levels within the motorcycle industry. And hopefully hearing my experiences and what it took to come up and grow through the ranks will help you down the road. Please click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and let me know what you'd like to see, any questions you'd have, and thanks for watching.